Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Ricky with Fun Plan Profit. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day. I'm going to start sharing my screen so you guys can check this out. But have you guys seen this push on natural gas today? So natural gas closed yesterday at around 330, right? Pushed up to highs of 336. Looks like it's trying to show signs of a downtrend pattern, I believe. I mean, it's been getting rejected by the SMA indicator. I mean, it just made new highs, so that was a little bit different, but this was the first candle as soon as the market has opened. One thing that I like, and again, this is almost trying to like buy the dip and stuff like that, is yes, it's a descending pattern, but during pre-market hours, it's degas that's trading between the middle and top VWAP. I know that there's going to be a form of risk involved if I were to take a position here, as it's, although it is trading, yeah. So let's see, do I want to or do it? Yeah, I'm going to take a smaller position, right? I'll take a smaller position and we'll have that of, let's see, no. Okay, so the reason that I was somewhat motivated to take a position right now on DGAS is because of the resistance. So like obviously if natural gas will do the opposite of whatever degas does, right? So congratulations to all those that were able to buy the, UGAS. UGAS is up on the day, up over 5% based on how it closed yesterday, right? Let me close this out real quick. But when it comes down to what is actively trading up right now, I would say that would be a little bit more of, my goodness, come on. No, yeah, I'm gonna have to play. It's gonna make more sense, I think, as of now. There might be a shift of pattern. It's gonna have to be you guys, the one that's trying to now trade in between the middle and top view up. Do you guys see this? So it was actively trading up. It sold off, and it started trading between the middle and bottom view up for you guys itself. But there we go. You guys just broke another resistance at $96. And we could see that natural gas itself is almost making higher highs as of right now, which is almost a shift of what it was doing right before the market has opened. So let's see. Good morning. Good morning. There's a lot of people that are just tuning in. Let's check this out. JNUG with a descending pattern, the SMA line acting as a strong resistance. So just had a pretty aggressive sell-off. So JDST might be a little bit more on the overbought side as of right now, but it's definitely showing signs of an uptrend. Just hit highs of almost $80. So yesterday, for whoever asked, can JDST hit highs of 80? Boom, there we go, $80, right? Again, it has been making signs of lower highs, so it wouldn't be the worst thing to lock in profits. So BLKB, why are people talking about that one so much? So what the heck? BLKB. Okay, super aggressive sell-off. Okay, pretty decent pattern. This would be more of like a dip buy opportunity, but intraday it's not showing any signs of like an aggressive recovery or anything like that. So I don't know why this one would be like one of the top stocks on my watch list as of right now. It just wouldn't make much sense. So yeah, I'm going to be a little bit more patient. So one of the things that we talked about, and I'm going to continue to repeat it, that we've been talking about this week is like, sometimes it takes a little bit more than just the data that we're given, or the patterns that we're given during pre-market hours to decide what direction the stocks that we're planning to invest in for that day are going to head, right? So I don't know if, Diaz was showing signs of a sell-off, right, during majority of its extended hours, right? So how it was trading during pre-market hours. But all of a sudden, right as it gets closer to market open, it starts to trading between the middle and top view up, almost making like higher highs and higher lows. But then right as the market opens, it drops right below the middle view up. So it's very like it tends to contradict with one another, right? So yeah, so when it comes down to, if you don't feel comfortable deciding what direction you think DGAS or UGAS are going, or, whatever stock it is that you are trading, then I think one of the best things that we can do is to give it a little bit more time, right? So as of right now, we can see that there's still a descending pattern with JNUG as well. Let's just go ahead and break down all these. So right now, UGAS itself is still trying to make higher highs. If it gets rejected here, then we might start seeing lower lows. And if that, then we understand that the overall direction for the day, if this thing begins to sell off, then we might want to pay attention to DGAS, right? That would make sense. TNDM had a pretty aggressive sell-off and is now getting rejected by this SMA line, right? As I said, that it pops right above it. But ultimately, this is more of a resistance, right? So it's a little bit more on the overbought side. So it would make more sense on probably why you don't want to buy at that specific price point. Microsoft with a pretty solid sell-off from highs of 113 yesterday to lows of 110 today. Let's check this out. And again, it's still struggling to identify which direction it's headed. Pretty aggressive sell-off. So we thought that I had that MACD reversal confirmation, but nope, nothing just yet. Whoa. Doug, I gotta go fight the hurricane. Hope everyone has a great day. Hope to be here. Doug, hope you stay safe. Sorry for the inconvenience. I believe the hurricane is hitting Florida, correct? So Chris is talking about okay, so it is Florida. Chris is talking about Microsoft and the 2% sell-off that it had today. Would I consider cutting losses? I would consider cutting losses if it continues to make lower lows, but if we see that it's just a sell-off and then it begins to recover throughout the day, then I think we should be fine. But if we see that it progressively continues to make lower lows and there's no signs of a reversal, then cutting losses wouldn't be the worst idea. There we go. DGAS getting rejected by this EMA line, still showing signs of a descending pattern. So I think does it make sense to you guys that why it's so important to wait for the stock to identify the direction that it's headed throughout the day, right? So I think it's right now a little bit too early for me. I feel uncomfortable. I would feel uncomfortable because the middle and top view up are telling me one thing, but then as soon as the market opens, it starts selling off. So and we're also at a price point when it comes down to let's say the future natural gas, where it was kind of in the middle, so we didn't know what direction it was going to be headed. And if this thing pushes up to the higher highs of 3.35, is it actually going to progressively make higher highs, or is it going to hit that high and then come right back down to 3.3, where it's just going to really almost flatline throughout the entire day? And if it's going to just offer a horizontal pattern all day, then again, I wanted to identify that so I can buy the dips and sell the peaks, but at least I'm aware of its direction for the day. Does that make sense? There we go, really strong push up. All right, I'm not in anything for that reason. I like it, so don't go. Let's see. Okay, so I'm just gonna set my alert here to see if it starts making higher highs, and I'm also gonna set my alert if it starts selling off below the middle VWAP, and just follow up with it then. So pretty much just because I don't think I'm gonna be taking a position on anything. I mean, all the stocks that are on my watch list are ones that I don't really feel too encouraged to take a position. I want to give it a little bit more time for it to identify what direction it's going to be going. So if you guys have any stock right now that's actively trending up that you want me to break down and you want my own 2 cents, post it in the ticker call out format. And again, I can break it down for you. So someone talking about SQQQ. Okay, showing signs of a potential uptrend, nice little push up, pullback, bounce around the middle view up. So I would like to see if the thing continues with its direction. Wow, that's really nice. Okay. TZA. TZA showing signs of an uptrend, and again, this is perfect as it's progressively making higher highs. This is kind of what I want to focus on, regardless if it's something that I'd invest in or not. I just think as long as we focus on whatever's actively trending out, that's what's important. So okay, so it's definitely been showing signs of a consistent ascending uptrend pattern based on recent patterns, but overall, it's showing signs of an aggressive descending pattern. So we might want to focus more on a day trade rather than a swing trade. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, right? So I think we should become familiar with the low points and the high points and maybe give it a little bit more time for us to familiarize ourselves with that, and then kind of go off of that. But based off previous patterns, it looks like it usually bounces off the SMA line to the top view up, and that's usually the range that it trades in between. Let's see. Okay, this one's really low volume, so I personally wouldn't trade this. But yeah, and it's trying to show signs of a reversal of pattern, but there's not enough data on the 1-day, 1-minute chart or volume for me to consider this to be a good trade. So I would personally have to stay away from this. So Nick, can you ask me, or can you answer this? Have you completed the course? There's an ETF section in the course, in the Learn Plan Profit course that covers exactly like why I use these correlating ETFs and trade the futures off of them. So if you could just answer that, then let me know. Okay, so the 5-day, 5-minute chart's been showing signs of a potential reversal of pattern. Okay, some consolidation showing signs of potential bounce. Okay, showing signs of an uptrend, kind of peeking out a little bit, so watch out with that MACD. Looking a little bit more on the overextended side, so it might be due for a pullback before it continues to uptrend. I'm gonna have to try to go through these a little bit quicker. You guys are really sharing them. Descending pattern, so okay, I'm gonna try to focus more on relevant patterns, so on the 5-day, 5-minute chart, and this is almost showing signs of a peak formation, so I wouldn't be too encouraged to trade something like that. Ticker symbol MA, more of a descending pattern, not something that I'd be too interested in. GOV. Same thing, kind of consolidating, peaking out, not making higher highs, so it's not something that I would want to be a part of. VOD. So again, direction is something that's really important to me. So as right now, it was showing signs of an aggressive descending pattern. It had a really nice push up during pre-market hours, but is now selling off as the market has opened, something that I don't see value in. Descending pattern, had a nice push up yesterday, sold back off, and it's continuing that descending pattern. Okay, so its overall direction seems to be good, but it's still showing signs of a sell-off rather than an uptrend, so I wouldn't be too motivated to trade this either. And this is a ticker symbol, so it's, what is it? OGRMF. Okay, the 5-day, 5-minute chart showed that it was showing signs of an ascending uptrend pattern, peaked out and is now selling off, so it broke that pattern. On the 180-day chart, yeah, it's showing signs of a sell-off. So if it starts showing signs of an uptrend, then that would make sense. But as of right now, even intraday, it's in between the middle and bottom view up. That doesn't make sense. Like, why would that be a good investment? Appreciate that, Casey. Chase, thank you. You sound like my brother. Okay, 1-day, 1-minute chart. Yeah, aggressive descending pattern. Looks like you had a really nice push up during pre-market hours. But again, it doesn't matter how much it pushes up during pre-market hours. If it starts to sell off immediately and trade in between the middle and down, middle and bottom view up, then again, that's a descending pattern since you weren't able to take advantage of what happened throughout pre-market. Okay, so ticker symbol T, which is for AT&T, right? It's trying to show signs of an uptrend today. It's up over 1%. I would still give this one a little bit. No, this one's showing signs of a pretty consistent ascending uptrend pattern. So again, why do we see value in this one? Because it's trading between the either middle view up and top view up, or EMA line and top view up. So if that pattern breaks, then it wouldn't make sense on why we would see value in any of this, right? So it's aggressively pushing up as well. And what are the margins? Yeah, I mean, the margins aren't that huge, so it's not going to be for everybody, but for those that you know, it attracts, then just understand its pattern and the difference of, like, if it continues its pattern, great, that's in your favor. If it breaks its pattern, then that's when you might want to lock in profits or cut losses. Cut a quick 1% on you guys, new. I like that. Boom. What about Netflix? What about it? We need that ticker. VXX, please. All right, I'm only gonna break down moving forward as of right now. Moving forward, stocks that are shared in the ticker callout format. So just a friendly reminder. Again, you see all these people going out of the way, Spirit Guru going out of their way and posting in the ticker callout format. It's not fair for everybody else. So first of all, VXX is showing signs of an aggressive descending pattern, right? But intraday, and even looking at the 5-day, 5-minute chart, it's been showing signs of a peak formation, meaning that it's been struggling to make higher highs, so it could be peaking out before it starts to sell off. So I think it's a little bit more on the overextended side, RSI, MACD, so I wouldn't find it to be necessarily such a great deal. So ticker symbol ERI. Here we go. Okay, so a nice ascending uptrend pattern. It's trying to show signs of a recovery. It's still a little bit too early to tell. I like the MACD, I like the RSI, but we want to see higher highs, not just one nice little push and then it gets rejected again. How do we know when something is actively trending up? When it continues to make higher highs. So ticker symbol TMUS. It's T-Mobile, right? Yeah, T-Mobile showing signs of potential support right around $68, so it was selling off potential support. This would be more of like, I don't think the margins here would be necessarily worth it for a day trade though. It's about half of a percent. So, if it's worth it for you, all power to you. If it's not, then probably isn't the best trade. Is Tesla falling again? Ooh. Dang, got rejected once again, back down to 250. Oh man. Heck yeah, I sold it in pre-market hours, so I'm going to rebuy. Robert, well, I'm really happy to hear that it played out according to your plan. So again, we've identified a pretty relevant resistance, right? So let's look at the 5-day, 5-minute chart. Resistance right around the 265 area and previous support around 250, which is kind of what it's approaching. So I'll just keep that on high alert, right? So ABM, let's check that out. I like the 5-day, 5-minute chart. It's been showing signs of a potential ascending uptrend pattern. 20-day, 1-hour chart, that's more of a descending pattern. So it's more relevant patterns that's been showing signs of a push up. So TNDM just broke below its support. And then overall 180-day analysis showing signs of a potential reversal, right? So nice little bounce and maybe trying to make higher highs. So I would take that all into consideration. Just ask yourself, are you focusing on a day trade? Are you focusing on a swing trade? It really wouldn't make much sense to day trade something like this. So I would like to wait for, if it were to be a swing trade, more of confirmation that it's going to continue to make higher highs, and then I would progressively add more to my position and stuff like that. So that's kind of something that I would look out for. So we got, again, all of a sudden, DGAZ is trying to identify a reversal. TNDM with an aggressive sell-off. Do I want to buy it? What do you guys think? Should we buy the dip? Oh, everyone's saying no, don't buy it. My goodness. Yeah, wait for confirmation. I like it. You love TNDM. I definitely do like trading it. I feel like, although I don't necessarily like trading stocks that are too volatile from time to time, I like parts of TNDM, right? I don't like how inconsistent it is, but based off previous patterns, on the 5-day, 5-minute chart, being able to identify like low points and high points and stuff like that, I feel like we've done a pretty good job with that. So it's still showing signs of sell-off, still getting rejected by the EMA indicator. So that's definitely something that we want to take into consideration. So it's something that we'll have to, haha, Ishmael. The best trade that you can take is not taking one at all. I like it. Let's see. TNDM is making lower lows. I agree. Yep. Based on previous patterns, yesterday hit lows of $34. There we go. I'm going to go in with a smaller position. $34.08. Yeah, $34.08. This is with a 33% position, right? So I'm managing my risk by taking a smaller position size of 33%, right? Natural gas just fell below. So D-gas, holy moly, it's Jason Bourne. Look at this. Nice little push up. Ooh, I'm excited. Oh, I'm glad you like it. Matt, my freaking guy, Matt Daughtry. Dude, I love your last name. There's like a famous person with that last name, isn't it? Other than you, Matt, being extremely famous, right? There's someone else called with their last name Daughtry, right? Am I pronouncing that correct? Every time I see your name, I just love saying it because it sounds so cool. Yeah, it's a country singer. Oh, I don't listen to country, but I guess I just know, right? The band Daughtry? Oh, Daughtry's a band. Oh, okay. Who knew? Luis Arroyo. I like saying your name too, man. Yeah, I don't want you to feel left out. You just crack me up. Wait, what did Cole say? I can't see his message. The easiest way to double your money is to fold it up and put it in your pocket. I like it. Steven, no. You got it, you got it. Ricky Gutierrez is a good name. Oh no, I have like the worst name. Every time I go anywhere, people are like, Ricky Gutierrez? What? It's funny. It's unique, right? So we'll go with that. TOS is delayed. I agree. TOS is acting a little delayed. There it goes. Pretty aggressive sell-off for TNDM. There we go. The risk of buying the dips. There it goes. Still selling off. How low can you go? How low can you go? Ticker ADM. Let's check that out. ADM is aggressively selling off, right? Or is it AMD that? No, you put ADM. Okay. Showing sign of a setting uptrend pattern. It's not so much of a good deal, so then I would focus if you do see day trade opportunity for it to be a day trade, right? And then when it comes down to, yeah, and it's also selling off intraday, so. Ah, okay. Oh, you got it. You called it out, so waiting for, because it's overextended and stuff like that. It's just something that you wanted to, share with us. I appreciate that. Thank you. I like it. I like it. Let's check this out. Wow, Shopify really aggressively selling off. Shopify has been doing a pretty good job making higher highs though. It is selling off, trying to catch a support. I'm actually really happy that you brought this one up. This could be a really solid swing trade if we were to see a reversal due to all this margin that it has to cover. So I'm excited for this one. I'll have my alerts set as it approaches 130. So, and the credit goes to, for bringing it back to our attention, oh, this thing. Yep. Let's see. All right. So today is Wednesday, right? Let me just make sure. Yeah, Wednesday. And today is um, the crude oil or the sweet crude oil report that comes out weekly, right? So for all those that are trading Gush, Drip, WTI, FTR, and stuff like that, those that get influenced, or any company that gets influenced by crude oil, I just want you guys to know that the report comes out today. Natural gas report comes out tomorrow, 1 hour after the market opens. I just want to make sure that we all know that, so we understand the risk that you're taking as it goes on, right? So ticker symbol DNR. I think this is going to be one of the last breakdowns that we're going to do. I'm not, other than the position that I have of the 300 shares on TNDM, which I'm not too worried about, that I currently have on TNDM at an average price of 34.08 as you guys saw me take. So DNR, for example, right now I see DNR to be a little bit more on the overbought side, showing signs of a potential sell-off. So that I would wait out on that. Get more into you. Yeah, forward slash you see with a huge push. Let's check that out. Okay, so that's in favor of J9, right? So, okay, but that might be a good dip buy opportunity for JDST, depending on where we're at, because JDST is the one that's showing signs of a setting uptrend pattern. But yeah, again, I want to give it a little bit more time before I start to trade the ETFs, as I think that they're being a little bit indecisive as of right now. As of right now, my only position is at 300 shares. It's about a 33% position on TNDM. I'm going to either wait for a reversal, so I'm going to set my alert here. The MACD looks like it's starting to finally show signs of a reversal. The RSI's looking decent, and where I plan to sell is anywhere where I see a resistance, right? Even if it's at the EMA line, the middle VWAP, or the top SMA line. Mainly the top SMA line. That's going to be my max ideal area to sell. But so yeah, there we go. Oh no, let's see. There we go. Tesla just made new lows, so I'm going to set my alert on this as well. All right. So how does leverage work, guys? I'm still pivoting on TOS and some stocks I trade. No, you shouldn't be using leverage if, I don't know how big your position sizes are, but if you're only trading with whatever your account value is, there should be no leverage that should be used. As long as you stay within your account value, that's what's important. And if you have any more questions, more like open-ended questions about that, you can contact TD Ameritrade. They'll pick up within 1 to 2 minutes, and you can answer any question about TOS and setting something up, and how something works or why is something happening with your account. 100% just call TD Ameritrade. They're going to be the quickest to resolve the issue, or most likely to have the solution for you. So I just want to make sure that we do that. Okay, so I just bought hard at 249, kind of getting rejected. Yeah, I do see it kind of still getting rejected by this EMA line as of right now. So shop just broke below its support. A lot of sell-offs happening today, right? A lot of sell-offs. So let's be selective. DGAS is, wow, DGAS is trying to push up. That's pretty cool. Okay. Alrighty, I'll keep you guys up to date with what it is that I continue to invest in, and I'll keep you guys up to date with the TNDM position. I think overall, based off previous patterns, we shouldn't have an issue for this thing to return to about the mid 34s to high 35 or higher 34s. But altogether, I'll keep an eye on it, and if it continues to sell off, then we could always manage our risk. The great thing about, again, taking smaller positions is that if it continues to sell off, because you have a smaller position, the dollar value that you have at risk is also much less. So, yeah, I don't want to take too much of your guys' time, and there's not too much activity going on right now. So, we're not necessarily being too productive. I don't want to like exhaust myself and then end up taking a position because I'm just behind a screen, right? So we have the stocks that we're watching today. I wanted to identify a little bit more of a direction. DGAS was showing signs of an uptrend, then it sold off, and then it's picking right back up. So I need to give it more time for it to identify its direction. So that's something that we'll have to wait out for. So this can be the last one. So LABD. So LABD is showing signs of an uptrend, right, intraday, so that makes sense. And it's progressively been making higher highs. It's a little bit more on the overbought side, so I wouldn't find this to be necessarily like the best deal. So I'd wait a little bit more for a sell-off, and based off of yesterday's patterns, it would bounce off of the middle VWAP, so I would wait for that confirmation to see if that can continue to happen. So I really do appreciate your guys' time. I hope that you guys all have an amazing rest of your Wednesday. Let's keep it simple. Let's focus on whatever's actively trending up. And like always, guys, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.